Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of our podcast. Today we will talk about a trip to Paris. Let's go. Last year, I had the chance to go on a wonderful trip to Paris, the capital city of France. It was my dream to visit Paris for many years, and finally, I made it happen. I was so excited. Paris is known for its beautiful buildings, famous monuments, art, history, and amazing food. I couldn't wait to see everything with my own eyes that I started my trip by flying from my country to Paris. The flight was long, but I was very excited, so it felt like time passed quickly. When I arrived in Paris, the weather was nice but a little cold. The air was fresh, and I felt very happy to be in such an exciting city. I took a taxi from the airport to my hotel. It was a small hotel, but it was very comfortable and had a nice view of the city. The first thing I did after checking into my hotel was to go to the famous Eiffel Tower. I had seen it in pictures before, but seeing it in real life was amazing. It was very tall, and I couldn't believe I was standing right under it. I took many pictures to remember the moment. After that, I decided to go up the tower. I took the elevator to the top, and the view from there was spectacular. I could see the whole city, with its beautiful buildings and streets. It was a wonderful experience. The next day, I went to visit the Louvre Museum, one of the most famous museums in the world. I was excited because I had heard so much about it. The museum was huge, and it was full of famous artworks. I saw the famous painting of Mona Lisa. The painting was smaller than I imagined, but it was very beautiful and mysterious. There were many other paintings, sculptures, and art pieces from different parts of the world. I spent a few hours exploring the museum, and I learned a lot about art and history. It was amazing. After visiting the Louvre, I took a walk along the Seine River. The river is very important in Paris, and many people like to walk along its banks. There are many beautiful bridges and old buildings along the river. I stopped at a small cafe to rest and drink a cup of coffee. I tried my first croissant there, and it was delicious. The croissant was warm, soft, and buttery. I was very happy with my choice. On the third day, I visited the famous Notre Dame Cathedral. The cathedral is very old and full of beautiful details. The architecture was impressive, and I could see many people inside, praying and admiring the building. I also saw the rose windows, which were colorful and made the cathedral look even more beautiful. After exploring the cathedral, I walked around the neighborhood, which had many small shops and cafes. I bought a little souvenir to remember my visit. I also had the chance to visit Montmartre, a famous neighborhood in Paris. It is known for its artists and beautiful streets. I walked up the hill to reach the Sacré-Cœur Basilica, a famous church. From the top of the hill, I could see a great view of Paris. I stayed there for a while, watching the city and taking photos. I also saw many artists painting pictures and selling them to tourists. I bought a small painting of the Eiffel Tower from one of the artists. It was a perfect souvenir from my trip. One of the highlights of my trip was visiting the Palace of Versailles, which is just outside of Paris. The palace is very beautiful, and it has big gardens. I took a tour of the palace and saw the rooms where kings and queens lived many years ago. The Hall of Mirrors was huge and very impressive. The gardens outside were full of flowers, fountains, and trees. I spent the whole day there, walking around and exploring the palace and gardens. It was a magical experience. In the evening, I went to see the Eiffel Tower again. At night, the tower is lit up with thousands of lights, and it looks even more beautiful. I sat in a park near the tower and watched it sparkle for a few minutes. It was a peaceful and happy moment for me. I felt very lucky to be in Paris. On my last day in Paris, I decided to visit Disneyland Paris. I had heard a lot about the park, and I was curious to see it for myself. The park was full of people, and there were many fun rides and attractions. I took pictures with Mickey Mouse and visited Sleeping Beauty's castle. The rides were exciting, and I had a great time. It was a perfect way to end my trip. Before I left Paris, I walked around some more and visited many small shops. I bought some French chocolates, perfume, and a beautiful scarf. I wanted to bring a little piece of Paris back with me. I also spent some time sitting in a cafe, drinking coffee and writing in my travel journal. Finally, it was time to leave Paris. I took a taxi to the airport and felt a little sad because I was going to miss the city. But I knew I would always remember my amazing trip to Paris. The food, the sights, the people, and the memories were unforgettable. I promised myself that one day, I would return to Paris and explore even more of this wonderful city. As I flew back home, I thought about everything I had seen and experienced. Paris is truly a special place, full of beauty and history. I can't wait to go back again someday.